Oris is back with another wonderful baseball-inspired watch. Welcome back to the channel for Right Time Watches here in Denver, Colorado. A couple of years ago, Oris released the gorgeous and well-loved Roberto Clemente limited edition. Well, they're back at it again in 2023 with this gorgeous Hank Aaron watch. Before we dig into its details, we'll invite you to subscribe to the channel so you catch all of our upcoming videos. This watch has a 40mm diameter with a 48mm lug-to-lug distance. It's 12.5 millimeters thick and powered by a modified Sellita automatic movement with a pointer date function. Baseball fans will already know, but for those who do not, Hank Aaron was a very accomplished African-American baseball player. He played for over 20 seasons and holds career records for things like RBI and at one point the home run record. He was a very inspirational man and just as inspiring a baseball player, and was a great subject for Oris's next limited edition baseball-inspired watch. The Big Crown pointer date is the same platform we saw used for the Roberto Clemente limited edition, and this one is equally as gorgeous. With the Atlanta Braves being a primary base for his playing career, we do have Braves-inspired colors with red splashes here on the dial and navy and white all together. Of course, we have some mainstays from the pointer date collection, including these gorgeous cathedral hands and the third hand which points at the date surrounding the dial instead of a traditional date wheel. I love this complication. I think it's very unique and fun. This model also comes with an additional NATO style strap, this one with the same red, white, and blue colorway. The strap that this watch is supplied on is inspired by the stitching on a baseball mitt with that double white stitching on the navy blue strap. Overall, a very nice combination and is very classic looking. The watch is equipped with a sapphire crystal which has a very extreme dome over top. This is a very vintage look and I really appreciate it. The distortion that you get from that domed crystal is one of my favorite features. Of course, we have the big crown on the right side of the case, as you would expect from the namesake of the watch. The crown is Oris signed and is polished. The sides of the case are polished, and the hoods of the lugs have a bit of brushing to create some contrast. Another calling card for this watch is this high polished coin edge bezel. It looks fantastic. The movement is operated in standard fashion. In the second position, you're able to set the time on this watch. In the crown's first position, you set the date, which is a bit non-traditional as I mentioned before. There is a third hand which points to the date around the dial instead of a wheel. This watch also does have a screw-down crown here on the right side of the case. I mentioned this strap before, but it's a very high-quality tapered leather with a lovely blue tone. The underside has that baseball mitt dark leather tone, and it looks fantastic in contrast. We do have an Oris signed buckle here on the opposite side of the case, which wears well together. The caseback on this watch is absolutely gorgeous and very impressive from the brand. You can see there in the center it says Hank Aaron Limited Edition, and there's an engraving of the baseball player in his prime looking out at presumably a huge home run hit. This is a limited edition of 2,297. The number is significant because that is one for every single one of Hank Aaron's RBIs, or runners batted in. This major league record still stands today. Beneath the caseback is that modified Sellita movement with a 38-hour power reserve. The watch does have some lume on the cathedral hands. This watch is particularly comfortable on the wrist as well. It doesn't have a very large thickness, and some of the thickness comes from the domed sapphire. The watch wears nicely up against the skin and is sized well for a variety of wrists. Here on my 8-inch wrist, there is tons of room to spare, so if you do have a smaller wrist, this one will fit you quite well. With a price of $2,500 US, this watch might be tempting all on its own, but when you consider the impressive history and tribute to a great man and player in Hank Aaron, this watch starts to make a ton of sense, especially at that price point. This watch is gorgeous, is an amazing limited edition, and would be a great watch for a baseball fan. If you'd like to purchase this watch or any of our others, please visit us online at righttime.com or give us a call. We're always happy to help. As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time at Ride Time.